All right, so we're back, and this is the United Pacific Week to Wicked presented by CPP, and we got ourselves a C10.
That's right, Jay. We got a 71 C10 this time around. The owner got about 3/4 of the way through his build and threw in the towel, so we're going to step in and take it over.
Yeah, you know, and like all the builds, we start off with a solid body, something's painted. A lot of the interior is already done, but outside of that, we're going to replace everything else under this. Taking out the small block, the trans, rear end, everything. So we got a bunch of work this week. We got the guys from CPP here to help out, so that's going to be a good thing, and should probably get busy.
Yeah, let's get started on the suspension.
All right, so first plan of attacks, like we do on all of them, we're gonna completely wipe out the suspension, the engine, the entire drivetrain, starting with that really cool bolt that's holding on that really cool air cleaner.
This thing was the nut on the air cleaner. I heard you over there.
And nobody listened.
No one took the nut off.
I wasn't sure what tool I should use. Is it the top one or the bottom one? I don't know.
There's a river down there?
Well, we're draining the gas tank. There's 18 gallons in it. Because Danny cut the hose.
I asked for permission. I thought it was empty. When do you
Oh, you
bring
didn't
it
ask
over?
that though. You just said, could I?
Is the tank in the cab? The block's full. We didn't drain the block. Let me cut this. Maybe if you took that stupid nut off the air filter, you can drop it down.
It lives with the carburetor forever.
Where's your adapter? Hey, Chris.
Yo!
We could use your help getting the motor mounts and stuff out so we could pull this motor, then we could lift it up off the ground. You
Yeah,
guys
you
can
want me
work
to
like
bust them out?
normal people.
Are you bringing it with the trans, or are we going to separate the trans from the
No, let's
engine?
bring it with the trans, take the hood off, and just take it all out of one.
Okay.
Just remember to put a plug in the back of the transmission though. You just break those plugs and they'll come right out.
You didn't even break it.
Oh, that's a strong plug.
Hey, don't you drop something on my head.
Yeah, right into there. There you go. That's cool.
Well, let's set it on that Corvette motor. It already looks right.
No, we can
Yeah.
take the car up
Oh,
so you can get to the motor mounts without laying on your back.
I think
Yeah.
he's enjoying them.
He likes to Michelangelo things. Got the 2 reserve tanks and then the one in the cab.
And they're all linked as
Got
into one.
the 400-gallon Texas hauler
that's all.
package.
I got the ball.
Call the ball.
Tell me when I'm in far enough.
Well, that's good.
Tell me when you can feel it.
Stop, up.
Who's got the trans? Anybody?
No, nobody's under there.
Okay.
You guys tell me what to do. I'm going slow.
Hold on. Whoa, stop. Go.
Go back a little bit. Okay.
I'm gonna bring a.
I'm
Watch it,
straight
up.
outside. Down the right one. Oh yeah, it worked. Oh, gotta take the nut off first.
That's because someone told me the wrong size.
Hey, what about this one, dude? I'm trying to pound that thing out.
It's not 7/8.
The nut's still on it.
It's not 7/8 like you said. There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
Here you go.
We're gonna use the center link?
Yeah.
Okay, here.
All right, that's a wrap.
You always want to be under the car when you're raising it with the
He's in
lift.
the hole though. It's like the Charlie Chaplin movie.
Oh, there you go.
Time to install some brakes. Can you guys make some more noise? And then he gets caught. This is the left rotor. For the rear, oh, just real quick, this has an internal e-brake, brake shoe right there. This slides over it. Ready, set, go.
Okay.
Yeah, we need that turned though. No, Danny, you're good. You're good. You go down. No, go down.
can't.
You need to loosen that up with the 9/16 and spin it.
Okay. All right. Somebody.
This is the lower tubular control arms that replaces the old stamped control arms. Let's see if I can do this by myself. You know.
We're installing the upper shock mount for the coilover. This is replacing all the stock upper control arm mounting points and all that kind of good stuff for the C10 suspension. We got our lower control arm on. We're just getting ready to put the upper shock mount in place, and then we can bolt our upper control arm, slide the coilover shock in place, spindle, and we're done.
You're gonna hit the pocket. You're gonna hit the little speed bump in there.
Is there a speed bump in there?
There is.
Like that?
So now that I finished up the front end, I'm just gonna tighten up this last bolt here, and then, well, I guess we're done.
Just like TV. Don't get crazy.
Except for the part that we still need to do the upper control arm.
All right. So we got our rear shock cross member back here. So we're ready to go.
You really did your homework on this when you engineered this.
When I engineered,
Yeah,
yes.
yes. So why do they call him the engineer when you do all the work?
All because we got the title.
So it's just a title for him.
Bought it.
Yeah, I gotcha. Gotcha.
Engineer is Latin for a guy who sits at desk and does stuff. Just wanted it a little. We're trying to light the scene.
So I like to do this before the tie rods go on, because from here, I could just spin this all the way over and get into the back of the bolts real easy. So the caliper is on, and it looks like the rotor and the caliper are properly aligned.
All right. So we're about ready to install the rear end with all the rear suspension here on the table. But first thing we're going to do is install our cross member for our newer controlling arms. This is the new mounting point here. So it's all powder coated. We've got some holes for exhaust as well. So let's go ahead and throw this on there.
Keep going.
I don't know.
Almost right there.
It's hard to tell the difference other than ours fit really nice.
For a C10 build, we're going to be running Strange Engineering's brand new 9-inch Ford bolt-in replacement rear end for all the 67 to 72 trailing arm trucks. This is a nodular case. Inside the case is Strange Engineering's track lock differential. That's a posi differential. And it's made into the big 31 spline Ford axle. So there's plenty of strength for 700-800 horsepower, no problem, power to the ground. And don't forget, this rear end bolts straight up to the stock trailing arms, or if you're using aftermarket trailing arms that are based on stock specs, they'll bolt right up as well.
All right, so we are wrapping up day one, and we got the truck disassembled, frame stripped, painted, and a whole bunch of goodies thrown on there.
That's right, we got all the CPP suspension installed up front. It's hub to hub, brakes and everything are ready to rock. We got to run some lines tomorrow, and same with the rear end. Rear end's in, all the suspension's bolted up, and we'll put some sway bars on once we get this thing on the ground, and we're in pretty good shape for a Monday.
Yeah, so we're getting out of here relatively early, conserving our energy for the rest of the week, and get out of here. Come on.
I want to stay for a little bit.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh wait, the door's that way.
Oh wait, I gotta put my tool down.
All right, it's Tuesday morning, day 2 of the United Pacific Week to Wicked presented by CPP, and we got a bunch of stuff to do today.
We're gonna finish up the suspension, brake lines, put the master in, and dial this thing in.
Yeah.
Maybe fuel system?
Yeah, fuel system too.
Fuel system.
So
Good call, Christian. Thanks for the input.
all right, so with that said, the boys from CPP are here. They're itching to get going, and we're gonna get out of the way so we can get cracking.
All right, so we're removing the inner fender so we can get to the steering a lot easier. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, we're gonna replace it. And it's gone. Look at that. There you go.
All right, so I'm prepping the intake manifold for Ryan. He's gonna put on the ZZ6 engine by Ganjude Chevrolet. Usually we do like a single throttle body. This time we opted out in using a 2x4 or a like dual quad setup. Instead of using carburetors, we're gonna use fuel injection. Holly sent us over 2 sniper units, which will bolt right onto this. It'll give it that cool kind of old look. And it's a little bit something different for this build. So let me finish up here, give it to Ryan, and he'll be on his way.
Let's just put her face down across the bench. All right, cool. Let's prep this new bumper, get the parking light housings mounted into it, and get it back up on the truck.
Cool.
This is Mike with CPP. Right now we're getting ready to install the e-stop parking brake, and I've already started mocking it up, so I'm gonna get into mounting it.
All right, John, see if that thing fits in there now. Kind of on center, left and right. Yeah.
Somehow Ryan started this whole engine swap, pulley installation, manifold, and now I'm doing all the work.
Okay, well that about does it for mounting the first part of the e-stop, and now I'm going to continue the brackets down to engage the cables.
That is the water pump for our serpentine kit. We had to take the stock pump off because it doesn't have the reverse rotation for the serpentine.
All right, so we got the CPP steering box. We're about to mount it up.
Where's that go?
317.
All right, next is the rag joint, which goes one way there. You got one bolt.
Does it fit like that?
Yeah.
Look
Why
at
am I
the
asking?
look at the picture. I showed you.
Where's the picture? Okay, so
I think it goes that way.
It does go this way.
Yeah.
Don't see. I have legitimate questions to ask, and I understand this needs to be lined up with this, and this needs to go here. But I can flip it in 2 different directions, and it will still bolt up.
Did I tell you to flip it?
You didn't tell me which way to put it on.
I said
You said put
install
this on.
lower pulley,
Yeah,
idler pulley.
yeah. But then I need to know which way to go.
If I wanted you to flip it, I'd have told you to flip it.
Is that how this works?
It's like working with your dad.
No, my dad would.
Did I tell you how to do that?
No. Right, you know my
Don't
dad
do it
would
that
have
way.
done? You can't do
You're
that, idiot.
stupid. What are you doing?
Give me that. Give me that.
Stupid.
You idiot. You
Just
don't
get
know how
off
to
that
do
chair
work
and
in
go
that.
away. Why you got so many stickers on this motor anyways?
Just go, go, go.
Just go back inside with your mom. Help her cook dinner or something.
Times today.
The unwillingness to try at all.
I try again.
We're just getting ready to wrap up the e-stop here, and one really nice part about this was using our universal e-brake kit. However, when it came to drilling into this frame rail, I really had a difficult time. And I just couldn't figure it out for the life of me until I realized that on the inside of this frame rail, there was another plate.
Yeah, Mike, this truck used to be a long bed,
Makes sense.
and we did a step weld right here. That's where the frame was welded back together from the long bed to short bed frame rail conversion. And so we used our United Pacific bed sides too to shorten up the bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The long belt. Here we go. Here comes shenanigans. Are you Suzanne Summers?
There it is. Done.
So the electronic parking brake is now completed. We're just going to go ahead and hook it up to a battery and test it real quick. Go ahead, Christian. Looks great.
10.5. 5.8. We need a 5.8, so yeah, it's going to only go halfway.
There you go. It's a little bit tight getting it through. We saved the trickiest part for last.
Look at it.
So here's how the gas cap goes on.
These are the CPP motor mounts that we're going to use. They're urethane, and they will match up to their pedestals. I believe that's what they call them, that actually go to the cross member. So everything should be in place and where the motor needs to sit. And we should be good to go once we get that engine and trans in there.
That's about straight.
Yeah.
So we'll put it closer to
You
the
mind if I
front.
put mine in now, dear?
Yeah, get yours in, get it started. Close, hold.
Am I? Okay.
You got this inner one started, a socket or something else to get that secure.
It's got wide and narrow slats. They had one side. Yeah. Remember? All the spacing is wrong. And the drill all the spacing out.
These are the holes that were already in the frame and then a long slot. So just putting a pin mark on the outside will make sure we miss.
Bend up. It's off, right?
What are we looking for? You good?
Just go.
Yeah, you're good.
I'll tell you
We'll
what's
tell
up,
you.
Rob. Stop!
Yeah, it's not you.
That wasn't a good test.
Okay. Now I want you to spin the forklift 180 degrees to the left.
So to power our C10, we are using a ZZ6 small block Chevrolet motor from Gandridge Chevrolet. This is one of the most powerful crate engines offered in the small block family anyways, rated at 405 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. In fact, it's more powerful than any small block Chevy offered in a muscle car or a Corvette package. So really, this is basically a hot-rodded 350 engine straight out of the Chevrolet warehouse.
Got it. Hello. All right, so we got the engine installed. Christian and I are getting ready to install the GearStar transmission. You know, a lot of times we run the 4L60s or 4L80Es. This time we're gonna run with a 700R4 trans. You give Zach over at GearStar every spec you need, from horsepower, tire size, gear ratio. He'll build you a perfect transmission. Some of the perks with these transmissions, already got a dash 6 fitting in here. That way you run your lines right off of that. Comes with everything from your TV cable to your shroud, trans cooler, all the hardware. So all that's left for us to do, get this thing pulled up to that engine, measure for a drive shaft, and we'll have a drivetrain completed. All right, so it is the end of day 2, and well, brake lines are done, fuel lines are plumbed, all the steering and suspension brakes are in, so that's a good thing. We did end up getting the engine and trans in. I like that. The pulley system's on. We're a little behind, but not too bad. We worked a little bit later tonight than we did yesterday, but we'll come in early, catch up on a few things, and I think we'll be back on track by tomorrow night. So with that being said, Christian, how about we get out of here?
Let's do it.
All right, it's day 3 and we're back at it early morning, and we got a few things to do. We're gonna get the truck off the lift for one so we can open up the doors and get to the interior, do some AC.
Yeah, that's right. We got to pull the bench seat out. We're going to swap the seat out. Had a center or had a floor shifter in it. We're going to pull that out. We're going to replace the carpet. A couple other odds and ends: AC, stereo, steering column, gauges, bunch of stuff on the inside. So yeah, it's a good reason to
radiator.
roll it
We
out.
get there today, but kind of a lot of small, tedious things that take a little bit of time. So
Yeah, check header fitment, stuff like that.
yeah, but I think we're looking all right. So probably get out of this camera view and get inside that cab and get some work done.
Get out of this camera view.
I don't. I'm gonna pull the old AC unit out, the blower and all the old controls, so we can start with a fresh slate and install all the new stuff.
We're installing the HydroStop booster right now into the firewall. Gary's putting the last couple of bolts on. This is, for those of you who don't know, this is a hydraulic brake booster. It works off the power steering pump, and it'll also supply the power steering box once the whole thing's plumbed and installed. But it's a pretty simple bolt-on install. As you can see, it's a street beast. It's black. Right. I'll put the little guy inside the cab to walk through that. You see?
Yep.
Go your way.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys later.
We're installing the factory cargo light on this truck. Whoever ordered this truck in 1971 didn't check the box for cargo light. So I have the factory dimensions for the cargo light, and I'm installing it like it would have been done in the factory.
A lot of gas in here. Grab it
Yeah.
right here. I can't walk through the cab.
No,
I'm
I
too
know.
tall.
I'm trying to grab the other side.
I'm a giant.
All right, so we're ready to pull out the old, tattered, beat up, scratched, not working gauges, and Christian's gonna get in here and put a nice set of Dakota Digitals in here, and that way we'll be able to monitor the engine and all the vitals just fine. Couple wires. All right. Out with the old and in with the new. Christian,
Yo.
you're up.
I'm just touching up the wound with a little bit of etching primer. So where I cut through the sheet metal, it's not going to rust. And this being weak to wicked, this is the smallest touch-up brush they got.
Well, you don't have time to mess around with a small brush. All in one stroke, you get everything covered.
All right, when disassembling your old gauges, what you're gonna use is the front side of the gauges. The rest of the stuff you're not gonna use. So here, as you can see, we got all the holes for our screws. They're gonna line up with our new Dakota Digital gauges. Boom.
Right now, we're gonna start drilling the hole for the gas tank.
One
Fill.
more and the nightmare is over. Okay, you want to quit? So what we're looking at here is the United Pacific LED cargo light. What's cool about this cargo light is it has an integrated third brake light in it. So it has that stock look for your C10. It's plug and play with the original cargo light bulb. Simply plugs in the socket, and then that'll give you your white cargo light. And then it has an additional wire that you'll need to run to the brake light switch.
That bolts up like that. You want to slide in there and tighten these?
Yeah.
Hand them to you.
Who's being the jerk checking the shit?
All right, so here we have our left, our right turn signal, and our high beam indicators, and that all goes to the retro tech box. And this sends the signal out to the gauges, and it displays it on your screen.
So now we need power and a couple other things.
The evaporator, the air conditioning unit, the one that makes everything cold in here. We're gonna pop it in now that we've gotten everything prepped and ready to rock. Time to make it roll. But the first thing you want to do is put it in the right way. So let's just turn it all around. And let's try it that way. Just so hard to see through plastic.
All right, so that's plug and play installed in the factory cargo light location. So now the bed will light up bright white with white LEDs. And then when you step on the brake pedal, you now get third brake light.
The way we're picking up our speedometer for the truck is we're using the Dakota Digital GPS interface, and all you need is ground, battery, and accessory power. This feeds the information to the control box, and the control box to the gauges and to your display. So let's get cracking on this.
So now we're getting ready to install our control panel. It's got your blower speed, your AC and heat control, your defroster and dash control, and then the one single button to turn your actual AC compressor on and off. Let's do that. We're gonna take some of this paint off here first, boys and girls. They put so much paint on there. Reasoning, I don't know. They give me so much of it. Bring it down here, cut it to size, attach it to our vent, and that will control the air that we need to keep us cool.
I'm diggity dogging on this radiator here. Just mounting a couple fans to the shroud, and then I'm gonna mount the shroud to the radiator, and then we're gonna be cool.
Old Air provides a new glove box, so now that this is in there, I'll come back and I'll put the glove box door back on and we'll wrap the inside up.
Oh, Austin, maybe you would know. Do you know if these fans are puller fans or pusher fans? Yeah, uh-huh.
They're Polish,
Polish?
he said.
Christian!
And that's a wrap.
Do you know where the gas cap went? You'll notice that this radiator has a built-in cooler for the transmission, but GearStar recommends running an external cooler for the transmission. That way, you're not absorbing extra heat from the engine through the cooler. It's just more efficient. So that's what we're gonna do. So we'll plug these off, we'll block those off. We won't be using those. And we'll be mounting the cooler on the other side of this radiator. Fits like a glove. Goes right in the stock locations.
So we cut the hole in the wood earlier, as you can see. We also trimmed the strips. These aren't the right strips, and it's not the right wood, so things are a little bit offset, but we've trimmed them all so it still makes a really nice fit. The trap door goes in. Luis is going to put in 4 screws in total. They get tightened down, and this will be all done.
All right, so we're gonna change out these 7-inch headlights with our new LED headlights. Everything's plug and play. The biggest obstacle in a lot of these changeouts is the old hardware that is on your vehicle. So let's see what we got here. Hopefully everything's put together right with the right clips and screws and nothing stripped out.
So we have bench bled the master cylinder. We have a hose temporarily in place to keep from leaking fluid, brake fluid all over the place. And we're just gonna reinstall the master cylinder onto the truck, then connect the brake lines and begin bleeding the brake system.
7-inch steel beams have been around since the 40s, and this is a standard. So anybody that's got a vehicle that uses a 7-inch headlight bulb, United Pacific's LED products will fit in there. This one has 5 high power LEDs. It's got 3 on low beam, 2 on high beam.
Okay, so we actually have 4 connectors back here. We're only going to be using 2. The other one are for the buzzard and for the turn signals for optional. The one that we're going to connect now is for the clock. And this is just 1. And then for the screen, 2. So now that that's there, kind of tuck these in here nicely. Throw this over, just like that. And you put your screws in.
So currently we are bleeding the brakes with our syringe, similar to the way we bench bled the master cylinder. And we're using the syringe and we're pushing fluid through all the lines, starting in the wheel that's farthest from the master cylinder. This will take a little bit of time, maybe 20 minutes in total, and we should have all the air out of the brake system.
Okay.
Luis is going to feed the column through the firewall. I'm going to receive it on this side. Try to keep things lined up and not get scratched if it's going to fit.
It's right there. I can see threads on it. Both of them.
It's about time we got these hooker headers on. Slide them down very carefully so you don't screw up the ceramic coating. Slide it over the dipstick. Start the first bolt.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
All right, so it is the end of day 3 and made pretty good progress with the guys from CPP and our team. Radiator's in. The cooling system's actually pretty much plumbed. I think Christian did some gauges. We got the AC.
AC units in under the dash. The brake system's done. The steering system's all connected. The column's in the car. So we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. So we can get out of here, get some rest, and get back at it early tomorrow.
Let's do it.
All right, it is day 4 of United Pacific Week to Wicked, presented by CPP, and we got the truck back up on the lift.
Back up on the lift, we're gonna work on what? Exhaust, wrap up any little loose ends. I don't see too many suspension, brake, steering wise. That's all dialed in pretty good. What
Fuel
else we got?
injection.
Measure for drive shaft.
Measure the drive shaft,
Get
get it
that
down,
out.
put fuel injection on. I think the
run
rear
fuel lines and
LED tail lights, and we want to do a rear bumper because the other one's a little
Beat up.
weathered.
Yep.
But other than that, we're looking pretty good. I think we don't have the team from CPP here today. It's just going to be a couple of us hitting it hard and getting what we need to get done for our portion of the build. So when they come back tomorrow, we should be just about there to maybe throw some seats and a radio in and fire it up.
Maybe today.
Maybe. So
That's our goal. Work towards getting the motor fired today.
yeah, and we do have some wiring, which is always tedious and usually takes a bit of time, but you know, we got the whiz Christian on that.
Chris
so,
the whiz. He's gonna put the computer in and get the EFI all dialed in.
Yep, so.
He learned how to tune a carburetor
Did
last
he just
week.
wink at you?
All the time.
Well, you know what? On that sign, we're going to get the heck out of here and get to work.
We're gonna let Chris get to work.
All right, so from tail shaft seal to rear end.
Yep. Come on, baby. We're gonna call that 58 3/4.
58 3/4 from tail shaft to rear end.
The same point? Yes. 58 1/8.
58 and an eighth. All right, cup size on the rear end.
It almost looks like engine.
3/16, but it's inch and eighth.
Is that
Yeah, I think it's inch and
size?
eighth.
Do we have something here that we could toss on?
Measure this width here real quick. It should
Oh,
be
over
it
here.
should be 3 5/8.
What do you want? Inside to inside?
Inside tab to inside tab.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah, 3 5/8.
3 5/8. So now we got everything.
1603.
We got everything we need. We got cup size.
Okay.
We got U-joint
You just
length.
tell him it's a 700 R4 and he knows
Yep.
the pitch and all that.
And we'll tell him 700 R4, like Brian said, and then about 500 horsepower. And he'll build us probably a steel drive shaft, 3.5 inches in diameter. And thank you, Christian, for up the entire scene. Start over.
All right, Eric, you built the steering box. All right. All right.
All right, so we got one of Holly Hooker direct fit exhaust kits. Unfortunately for us, we've changed a lot on this truck, including the cross member that holds all the rear suspension. All the rear suspension is completely different, but this is gonna get us real close. We're gonna make a few cuts and slices and some welding, and we're gonna get this kit to work. It's a really inexpensive kit, a couple $100, so we can use everything here to get where we wanna go with the exhaust system and make it complete. We're looking all right, man. The first cut looks good. We're getting there. A couple more cuts here and there. We'll make it to the rear.
Always on my mind. You're always on my mind.
Where?
It's where we've done it before.
Okay.
Right?
We just gotta get to that area then.
How much compression? Or just put a wrench on the bolt.
Yeah.
I had to move these.
God! So like, I think I can cut it out here.
But measure it from the cross member. Let's make them both the same.
No, I can cut it out here. It won't kick it out.
Oh.
You know what I mean? What? I'm already going up now.
Okay.
I think those are cut loose over there. I'll break the last couple loose over here.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, yeah, ready? All right. Cool, let's set it over here.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got the new United Pacific triple chrome plated bumper and with the lighted license plate lights on it. And of course the Classic Trucks plate. And so let's go up with it.
We cool now? One. I mean, how hard could this really be? And then the cool thing is I'm balancing and getting core exercise. Yeah, you can make my core class a little more advanced. I am in the advanced stages. Done, done, son. Yeah, man, that's nice.
Okay. Let's do a little turn down and we can call it a day.
All right, so we wrapped up the exhaust. All that's left is to install the O2 sensor for the Holley EFI. Okay. And then we can drop the truck down and install the dual throttle bodies and get the fuel injection wrapped up too.
All right, we got our coil mounted for our Sniper EFI Hyperspark system under over here. I'm hiding the Sniper EFI. This is a control box for the ignition. All the control for the EFI is going to be inside the throttle body. It's all hidden, so there's no ECU, no external ECU for the Sniper EFI. This is strictly ignition components. And you can see the wiring harness for the EFI system snaking out through here. Once I get these guys permanently mounted, we're going to start running some wiring, and we'll be able to fire this thing up here in a little bit.
So it's time to install the new gas pedal. Low-car supplied the gas pedal, throttle cable, kickdown cable, and engine dipstick. We went with all black, just so everything kind of matches, and it's a really clean look actually, and we're gonna go ahead and install that now. This is also a direct fit kit, so you unbolt the stock pedal, and this bolts right in place, so no drilling or anything necessary. Makes it really easy and clean.
Red and black straight to the wire. Yep, okay, and I can connect it to that. All right.
So I've installed the housing for the throttle cable. It's a universal deal. It's about 30 inches in length, and we probably only need about 8 inches. So I'm gonna cut that to length. We'll slide the cable through, cut that to length once we get it onto the throttle body, and we'll be able to control the throttle body from inside the cab. Imagine that. Watch your eyes there.
Captain.
So this is a United Pacific gauge bezel, and we will install the Dakota Digital over to ours.
Now that our fuse box is in and all our wires are in, to clean this up, if you want to really get elaborate, you can also use American Auto Wire braid to braid all your wires, and it just makes it look so much cleaner. You'll see the difference right now. It's already looking pretty good.
All right, we're all set to go. Everything's in.
Everything is pretty much terminated, so plug and play pretty much. You know, your headlights, your ignition switch, your wiper motor, everything is terminated, even for the stock stuff if you're using that. So it's pretty quick. You just got to route everything nicely, and you'll be ready to rock.
And then the speedometer is another hard, big.
Throw me down some pedal, bro.
Here I go.
Check it for full throttle. You got it? Okay, a
Yep.
couple more times. Just make sure it's smooth.
Okay.
Feel good?
Feels great.
Looks good. All right, we're good.
Sweet.
The way these two throttle bodies talk to each other or communicate, it's this little can connector here. It's that simple. Drop it on those studs. And I'll go ahead and tighten all that down, and then we'll have to run the fuel lines. I think Ryan's already got most of the harness put together. We'll be ready to rock and roll soon. All right, so it is the end of day 4, and it's been a long day and a long night. We managed to get a bunch done, including the exhaust, most of the EFI, the ignition system, and a whole bunch of wiring. And we still have a little bit of wiring to go, but I think we're gonna tear out for the night, get a little bit of sleep, head back in tomorrow so we can finish this truck, fire it up, and get out of here for the weekend. And we'll get that out of the engine tomorrow. It is day 5 of the United Pacific Week to Wicked presented by CPP, and that makes me very happy because we're almost done. Potentially we could actually be finished, wrapped up tonight, start the truck, get it outside, spin the tires, and call it a day. But before we do that, we obviously got a few things to do. I think we're 90% there, but we still have that final 10%, and that final 10% sometimes can hold you up, but we gotta get started. Let's go.
Too many butts.
Yeah, it's right there.
Jeez Louise.
It's on
Here,
the manifold
put
right
a little
there.
soap on there.
That's not even tight.
No, we gotta put the rest of the
Put a
stuff
little
on.
soap in there, on the hose. I'll heat it.
I didn't know it ran on soap.
All right, so Odyssey battery is going to be our power source. They're nice enough to send one, so let's throw it in and make our cables. And it's a perfect fit.
All right, another week to Wicked. Gonna get some blue paint. We're gonna sling it on that truck back there, make that gray pop. Stay tuned.
All right, so now that our Odyssey battery's in, I'm running my American Auto Wire battery cables that I cut to length. One is going straight to the starter, and the other one's going straight to the block.
Finishing up the AC, hooking up the lines out here. One goes to the dryer, one goes to the evaporator, and one goes to the condenser. And then it completes a big circle. Putting the terminals, I fit it, I've cut it to length. Now I'm putting the terminals on it. Just like that. Done, son. Looks like it fits. I mean, right now it looks like spaghetti and a big old mess, but by the time we put some spark plug holders on there, it'll look good.
So we're ready to start filling up the rear end with the gear oil. And it's a slow process because it's so thick, but we'll get it in.
La 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 la.
My mic on?
Hey, you haven't pulled this plug yet.
Oh, can you pull it for me, please?
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
You're good. The whole transmission and engine are sliding forward.
Christian, you are strong with that mallet.
You're bottomed out.
Whoop,
Tail shaft's got that much to go and it's bottomed out in the transmission.
Let's cut an inch off it. Because it's right here. If you cut an inch off it, this will slide in another inch.
If that's where it's hitting. Yeah, it's got to be hitting.
It's hitting here.
Yeah, 'cause it's not hitting on the inside.
No, because I measured it and you were only like 3 inches.
Yeah,
This whole thing isn't as deep as this is.
If that doesn't work, then you got to push the rear end back.
at least to get it on.
Ah!
Oh, that hurt my finger.
Ay, caramba!
Yeah, huh? Oh, you want me to spin it?
Yeah. Just spin that one to the top.
There we go.
Did it get in? Yeah, but it's registering up on the dipstick, so.
Okay.
What are our options?
Oh, 2.4 Super Sniper, 2.4 4150.
Let me get the part number.
Set up right now, right?
Yeah, I am right now, so don't turn it off.
But you haven't done anything yet?
No, well, why?
Because I want to turn them off so I can get into the Dakota Digital menu.
Okay, hold on, give me a sec.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it. Let me see, hold on. That's orange. Let's see how white looks. I hear it.
Injectors. What the hell? You want to try it out?
Yes,
Let's go it.
You got oil pressure?
I haven't set it up, but it's reading right now, yeah. 60. Want me to turn it down, turn it up, or?
Did what it's supposed to.
Oh yeah, baby.
All right, so installation with United Pacific's classic LED lighting is a connector that's like the exact same as an 1157 light bulb. And we even give you a little slot right here for reaching deep into the taillight housing. And it's as easy as doing this. All right, the light's already sweeping. I'm gonna put the 2 screws in, button this up.
All right, so one of the last things for the build are the wheels, and American Legend was nice enough to supply some wheels. Let's see how they look. Make sure they're all nice and tight. Don't ever trust a gun.
That's it for that Just getting these scat seats in. We got a couple things to, got to add the sliders and stuff, a couple other things so we can bolt these in.
I won't be able to hook it up.
Small details, United Pacific makes LED dome light bulbs too. So click that in, they're called festoon bulbs. We make them in all the sizes from 28 millimeter to 31 millimeter. They just pop right in, put the lens on, and you have bright white LED light.
Time to put the hood on, boys.
Button it up.
You're a little low.
There's mine, I can see it. Pretty good. Smack it out.
All right, so now it's time to put in our Pro Car Bike Scat seats. And these seats are pretty comfortable. I've actually ridden across the country in them. So I can definitely say that they definitely are comfortable.
This mirror has one twist to it. We've put modern technology in the way of an LED turn signal in the mirror glass. Simply lines up with the original backing plate that's inside the door, and we'll get the screws started and be done in a minute.
All right, I'm just about ready to install this Custom Auto Sound USA 630 head unit. This goes right in the stock location. It replaces your stock radio in your 67 to 72 C10 pickup truck. And it features all kinds of new technology that you'd expect out of a modern stereo. It can control your MP3 player and all that kind of stuff, so it's super versatile, and will replace the cool 8-track we had in here.
The woofer.
You also are providing us with a Bluetooth accessory, so you can
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Booyah! She's like, Mijo, come here, I'm gonna cut your...
probably have to. This is latched, right? Well, this was about the smoothest build we've had so far.
Feels good.
Yeah, everything seems to be working nice.
Feels tight. Temperature's dropping. Steer's nice. See how it brakes coming up here. Brake's nice.
Man, this thing sounds pretty sweet.
And it rides nice.
And it does a good burnout.
That's for sure. We obviously couldn't have done this without all our sponsors.
That's right, United Pacific, all their guys came and helped out a bunch.
CPP.
That crew came out.
Even Christian did a good job.
You know, Christian, he's getting better too.
He is. But you know what I am?
I'm
tired. Dead beat tired.
You're bushed.
I need a beer.
Okay.
So let's put this thing to bed.
I love it when you say that with a twang.
Yeah. You know, it's my NASCAR in me.
Your cold beer.